Now, the news of the day. The Giants have fired their head coach, Joe Judge. And I'm trying not. I'm very excited about this, but not because I don't like Joe Judge. He's not an awful person, nothing like that. But keeping Joe Judge for another year when I feel like he's just not going to work felt like a dead end. It felt like a wasted year next year. And like the only argument I think you could make in favor of keeping Joe Judge is if there's just no good candidates available to become your head coach. And you're like, well, look, the last thing we want to do is hire someone we don't really want for a year, then fire him, then get the coach you really want. So if there's nothing available you like, stick with Joe Judge. I guess that would have made sense. But now they have fired Joe Judge. The general manager, Dave Gettleman, has been allowed to. He retired, which is very honorable of the Giants. To not fire him, just let him kind of resign and retire. And I do wonder if Brian Flores becoming available, the former Dolphins head coach, because the report was, hey, we're going to keep Joe Judge. We're not going to fire him. He's our guy moving forward. So the Giants were not planning to fire Joe Judge. And then I wonder if Black Monday came, the day that all the coaches get fired, and they were like, oh my gosh, Brian Flores is available? Boop, let's go get him. I think that might have got the gears turning because it wasn't until Tuesday that Joe Judge got fired. And, man, you look at the Giants right now. The Giants have 2 top 10 picks, the number 5 overall pick and the number 7 overall pick. In theory, you could trade those picks for, say, Russell Wilson, the Seattle Seahawks quarterback, or Deshaun Watson, where you get a starting quarterback that's really good and maybe you hire a coach like Brian Flores. Now, with Brian Flores, I love the guy. He does not coach the offensive side of the football. He has to get a good offensive coordinator. But right now, if you're a Giants fan, these are very, very exciting times. I thought the Giants were going to do nothing. They reported, we're going to keep the coach, we're going to keep the quarterback, we're not going to do anything. And I was like, oh, what? I felt horribly sad because all I want the Giants to do is make any kind of move. The last thing you want to see your team do, I'm not a Giants fan, but if you're a Giants fan, the last thing you want to see your team do is do nothing because you're bad, you're horrible, and you don't have the right quarterback. I don't think you have the right head coach. Now you got rid of the coach. You're in a position where if you want to trade for a quarterback, 2 top 10 picks, you can make that trade. If you are a Giants fan, you are sitting really, really happily at home right now and going, oh, boy, we're in a position to make a lot of moves and potentially set our franchise off in the right direction. And, hey, if nothing else, Dave Gettleman has driven me crazy for years in New York, and Joe Judge was not a very good head coach. But maybe we got to thank them if you're a Giants fan. Again, I feel like I'm talking as if I'm a Giants fan. I'm really not. But maybe Giants fans have to thank them because, if nothing else, they gave their team an opportunity like this with a bad team last year, a good draft pick this year. They're in a spot now with the former Bears pick, the trade for Justin Fields they got. That's the pick they have now, and the pick they have by being bad. Now they're in a position where, oddly enough, in a weird way, Joe Judge losing games and Dave Gettleman making that trade have now allowed the Giants to be in a position where they're a move or two away from being a really good football team, or at least a team that is competitive again. And that's all I want. I really football is better when Michigan is good, when the Giants are good, when USC football is good, when Texas football is good. The Giants are one of those foundational franchises in the NFL that when they're competitive, I think football is just better. And I really want to see the Giants get back to some kind of relevance again.